Hello, welcome back to Once the Force, a Star Wars podcast. I'm Phil, of course, and joined as usual by George and Dave. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Are you ready to chat some Star Wars and announce something rather special?
Yeah, as always, it's a fun time every other Wednesday to come and talk Star Wars with you guys.
Stock Star Wars or stock Star Wars, Dad?
It's very similar.
Yeah, I did miss the last episode. Technically, I was on the last episode, which was our Rebels special, which is worth bringing up once more.
We did a regular episode.
Yes, I was going to say I missed the very last one. I'm actually very lucky to be making it tonight's one. So to cut a long story, it's Star Wars related. There's not a premiere happening in London tomorrow, but it's called a fan private screening of Pacific Rim, and they decided to announce there's going to be a red carpet and there's going to be a John Boyega attending. Now, nice. I sat there thinking, oh, here we go. And I saw the peak time prices, and I thought, do I get a coach to London for a tenner? Do I take the risk? And until this morning, I decided no. So I'm lucky I've made it on tonight. It's too risky to go to a premiere that's just for him, that's for a film you have no interest in me and anyone else. But
yeah.
And I have made it tonight, and with me tonight, we have presented brand new channel artwork. You can check it out on our Facebook, on our Twitter, on our YouTube. It's worth noting we are now on Instagram as well, under Wands with the Force. You can find us on there, whereas we're going to be posting a lot more. We're going to be a lot more regular on social media. That's something we've all kind of said we want to do. So Dave's forefronting that at the minute, and it's time I join in. But Dave also has a very special giveaway he can talk about tonight.
Yes, I have indeed. So tonight, on my way home from work, popped into our local store and picked up myself a copy of The Last Jedi by Jason Fry, the official novelization. There were, however, only 2 copies there when I got there. So I picked up that second copy, and this copy, and anyone listening on audio, I am just holding the book in my hands. This is probably no good for you, but that's all right. I do have a copy for us to give away of The Last Jedi. Only came out yesterday or today, in fact. I think it's only been out a couple of days. So we have a copy of The Last Jedi by Jason Fry to give away. And we'll be giving that away to one of you lovely listeners or watchers of our lovely podcast. And to be honest, it's quite simple. You can leave us a comment, and that's what we want you to do. And what we want you to do is to leave a comment with your favourite moment from The Last Jedi.
And no crying about Luke not being the hero you wanted him to be. If your favourite moment is him milking an alien in Ireland, then yes, leave that comment. But next Wednesday we'll be announcing the winner of said not next. We'll do a post. Should we give a week? Yeah,
we'll give it a week so people can get on iTunes and have a listen as well. So literally you can comment if you leave a comment on our YouTube, on our Instagram, on our Facebook page. Really just if you can obviously link us in so we know what you're saying. I will compile all those answers and we will choose randomly somebody to win a copy of the book, which is a lovely giveaway, a free book. I'll even cover the postage for you because I'm lovely. So we have a giveaway. First thing, it's our first giveaway and a lovely copy of The Last Jedi.
Indeed. So wonderful prize for anyone out there. We are not eligible, of course, so sucks to be us. I mean, Dave, of course, picked up the book, but I'm not eligible, nor is George. We'll have to pay full price for this one, sadly. But we can manage. We can manage. Thanks, Dave, for including us in your wonderful giveaway there. It would be a bit of a shame if one of us does to win it. So out of everyone there, don't forget, as I said, we're now on Instagram, so Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Put your favourite scene from The Last Jedi. As I said, whether it be green milk, whether it be nothing from Canto Bite, obviously, because no one wants that. Especially not the Fardias, everyone hates them, or tiny little drunk Mark Hamill. But yeah, put your favourite scene down below, and we will pick a winner and announce it next Wednesday. So don't forget to check back then. But anyway, continuing with The Last Jedi, we might as well start the news with the fact that Last Jedi in HD is now out on digital download.
Yeah, it was announced. Well, not announced. It was released yesterday on the market. There's a black piracy market where there's Korean subtitles, but the main thing is it's out in HD. The special features are coming out. We have to wait for the Blu-ray until Monday, April the 9th. America, you get it next Tuesday. Yeah, they get it next Tuesday, don't they?
Next Tuesday, 27th of March. Yes.
Oh, it's so unfair. And yeah, so that's out now. We'll start off with that. This is not the biggest Star Wars news, but it's worth saying it's out. We'll be talking about Last Jedi quite a bit tonight. We all haven't seen the documentary or all of the deleted scenes, but there's a couple of major news tidbits which are coming from a couple of things which has been hard to avoid. But that's obviously, I mean, if you prefer digital over physical, then shame on you. But also, you get it early. But that's the big thing at the minute. And I guess our first outright news story is something we all expected. Something that is, well, I always thought was going to happen. It's news because this is news. John Williams, his final Star Wars score shall be Episode 9. And in his quote, he kind of said, you know, scoring 10 Star Wars films is quite enough Star Wars for me, given that he's, of course, doing the theme for the Han Solo film. I don't want to say I'm sad, because I'm loving the fact he's rounding out with the 9. I thought he would. He hasn't took on the spin-off films for a reason. But yeah, that's kind of happening. What do you guys think?
I'm not. Yeah, I am sad, but at the same time, it's not unexpected. I mean, yeah, this will be his 9th full film, 10 if you include, as I said, the theme for Solo. He's gone from Episode 4 and 77 all the way through to us for what be 2020. By the time he actually gets around to score 2019, sorry, by the time he gets around to scoring it. So he's had a good run. He's done loads and loads of films. He's done he's been nominated for 53 Oscars, won 8 of them. The man's an absolute legend, so it's not unexpected.
No, you're absolutely right. I think, but the fact that he's rounding out basically the saga that he started with A New Hope and going right through to Episode 9, it's a lovely way for him to finish up. I mean, the guy's, what, is he 83, 84 now?
84, I think, yeah.
6, or I thought it was late 80s.
So it's definitely, so you know what, the guy deserves to have a bit of a break. Yeah. He's written some of the best film, not just best film music, he's written some of the best music that's ever been put out there. And you know what, that's fine. Let's let him wind down, have some time, looking at all his Oscar nominations and enjoying himself.
It's the Skywalker saga, but it's also the Williams saga. You know, Star Wars and John Williams go hand in hand. And his musical landscape has just created such a resonance with everyone. It's been covered left, right, and centre, different styles of music, but no, you don't get Star Wars without John Williams. It can't be said. So we don't get wrong. We're looking forward to seeing what will happen in the future. We'll talk more about that later. But for now, it's not unexpected. But we are a little sad. But it's good to see him round out the saga. However, though, again, speaking of the spin-off films, we've had an interesting bit of news. Simon Kinberg is now writing, or supposedly writing, a Star Wars spin-off. George, again, you've got a bit more news on this one.
Yeah, so this kind of broke a couple of days ago, where there was a couple of reports coming out that Simon Kinberg, he helped co-create Rebels. He's produced a lot of the more recent X-Men films, I think from First Class onwards, and he's actually directing the new X-Men film, his first directorial film. There's a rumor going around that he is currently writing a Star Wars spin-off. Nothing more to it than that, just rumors at the minute. But given his history within Lucasfilm, he is also famously the producer that got Josh Trank sacked from Star Wars, because he was overseeing. Well, he worked for Fox, so he had to cover the abomination that was Phantom Force Stick, and there's a rumor that he covered some of the reshoots due to Josh Trank's issues. So he got Josh Trank well out of the way. I'm sure Josh Trank would have been gone anyway, but Kinberg made that move a lot quicker than what it was. But given, what he's done with Rebels and other things, I'm not too fussed with him writing a Star Wars film. I wouldn't want to see him direct one. I know he's directing X-Men now, but that's going to be his first ever directorial film. So his writing is proven, but his directing is not. So if he is just writing, that's absolutely fine with me. Hopefully it should be the Kenobi film.
Yeah, indeed. It is worth noting. It's only a rumor at the moment, and it will be probably filling in that lost Boba Fett Trank project that was in place there. I mean, Dave, your thoughts on it?
Yeah, again, it's. I'm just really happy when we mentioned that Trank is gone from Star Wars at the minute. It just seemed like a bad match altogether. For Kinberg to come in, yes, he's had a lot to do with the new X-Men films, which on the most part, well, Apocalypse is awful. But it's it's someone else he's got, because he's been with Rebels and he's worked a lot with Filoni. Gives me a lot of hope for him writing Star Wars. He has Filoni to call upon if he does need any assistance with that. just give Filoni a job, give Filoni a job, give Filoni a movie. But yeah, so you know what? Absolutely fine. It's a rumor right now. I'm sure in the coming weeks that we'll hear more because that's what the minute it seems to be Star Wars films left, right, and centre, and who's getting them.
Indeed. I mean, it'll be interesting to see if those rumors come to anything. But as at the moment, we are pretty full with Rian Johnson's trilogy, D.B. Weiss and Dave Benioff's spin-off as well, along with Episode 9 coming out and Solo, of course, due out in a few months' time. So we are relatively full up, as well as more things we'll talk about with the TV side, which we'll get to later. Although I suppose we should have actually flipped this and done our next bit of news the other way around, because speaking of John Williams, this drops, what was it, yesterday or the day before?
Last night.
Yeah, last night. Rian Johnson dropped on Twitter that, I'll let George go into a bit more detail on this one, that there'll be a music-only version for The Last Jedi. So, George, take us away with that one.
Yeah, so Rian Johnson sent a tweet out last night. For those that have now bought their digital HD copy of The Last Jedi, I've hidden... He said it's an Easter egg, but it's not really an Easter egg. It's a bonus feature, the first of its kind. He has a cut of the film that isn't just a commentary, that isn't just this. It is purely a cut of The Last Jedi with John Williams' score. There is no dialogue. There is no sound effects. There is nothing at all sound except the John Williams score. And to get that, you'll be given, I think, a code of your Blu-ray. You go onto this website, redeem it, and then you'll unlock your copy of this soundtrack only Last Jedi. I've never seen a film do that. I've heard of rumors that George Miller wanted to do it with Mad Max Fury Road, that he originally just wanted sound. Even Chris Miller of Dunkirk said, I wanted just the score, no dialogue. But physically, it's impossible, I think, to do a modern film without dialogue. So I'm kind of intrigued to see. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna sit through the whole film, but I'm gonna be very intrigued to see a couple of, not scenes, but I want to see a good 20-30 minutes, specifically the ending, the last 40 minutes of the film. I think would be phenomenal.
Indeed.
It's something, I mean, literally as soon as it was announced and George caught us up with that, I'm really excited for it. I'm really, really excited for it. To see this movie again, but to see it almost play like a silent movie with just the music telling the story to you, like what's going on and the emotions in that, is going to be a really different experience in seeing it. And something I'm really looking forward to. I hope if this works, that maybe some other films that have big scores to them, not like every film. You're not going to have Fast and Furious, just going to do the symphonic version. Actually, we have The Rock and it'd be fine. So yes, I'm really looking forward to seeing this. I'm really, really excited by it.
Indeed, something that I will probably watch the whole thing. But either way, it's something that's kind of cool. And don't really know if it's been done before, but if it has, fair play. If not, it's something that is definitely something I will be watching. Again, more things to do with The Last Jedi and its extra content is the fact that we've had some deleted scenes released / uploaded, either by official channels or by other people. I've only seen the Phasma one, and I don't really want to watch the rest. I want to wait until I have it on Blu-ray. What about your thoughts on those guys?
I've seen the Phasma one. I think that was on the Star Wars show last week. Pretty much everyone's seen that. For those that don't know, it's an alternative death of hers, where she doesn't fall down the pit. She falls down, gets back up, corners fin off, still dies. More definitive death is the best of it. The other ones, I know that one of the deleted scenes now online is the Tom Hardy cameo, which I went and I did watch, and I'm very happy that got cut. I did not like that at all. Didn't suit the film. But there's, what did they say, 14 is going to be on the Blu-ray?
14, yeah. There's one I caught tonight, which is, it just was titled Luke Mourns Han Solo, and to call it a deleted scene is probably giving it a bit more credit than it needs. It's literally Luke sat at a table in silence for about 30 seconds, and towards the very end of it, the music picks up, and that's it. There's nothing, literally just move, doesn't do anything. So I'm guessing it was just a thoughtful time in it. So there's that. I've seen the Phasma one. I haven't seen the Tom Hardy one yet, but as these things are out now on digital, more and more are going to appear online. People are going to start posting all over social media until they get pulled by Lucasfilm and Disney. But yeah, so I'm really looking forward to getting the Blu-ray and watching all these. I don't know if we're getting our digital download earlier than our Blu-ray release, or if they're coming out the same day. We tend to get them the same day.
Earlier, I believe.
Are we getting it?
I think we're getting it next week on the 27th, I think.
So I'll probably get the digital download as soon as it's available. to watch again. I just want to see everything in this movie again. For me, that literally, when this first time I came at this film, I felt like crying because I didn't like that was how much I disliked it. I've gone very much 180 on this film, and I just want to watch it more and more. It's crazy how much I want to see this film again.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it again. I've seen it. Well, I saw it 4 times in the cinema, as we all, I think, did, or everyone seems to watch Star Wars many times. It's been a long wait to get it on Blu-ray. It's nice that we're finally getting on home, put it on the shelf with the rest of the films, another one for the collection. But until then, I shy away from the documentaries, the stuff that comes on, because I want to watch in the comfort. I mean, the documentary, and expert news is I'll talk about now. One of the big headlines I saw this week was, quote, Mark Hamill wanted Luke to survive until episode 9. Spoilers. And in the director documentary, the hour and a half one, was it called The Director and the Jedi?
Director and the Jedi,
yeah. Obviously, they clearly interview him about there's a couple of little clips online. I haven't watched them.
There's the first 12 minutes are online
on our channel.
Yeah, in fact, there's a link on our channel, so you can go and watch that. It's the first 12 minutes of the opening of the documentary. I've watched it. It is the worst thing. Is it finished, and all I wanted was that extra hour and 20 minutes. I was desperate for it. As soon as it was like, no, I need the rest. So it's a really good start. It looks like it's going to be a really, really in-depth doc.
Yeah, it's one of those that when you get these films, you get a lot of long. You know, you get a couple of, like the Rogue One and Rogue One and Force Awakens, we had about 10 5-minute featurettes. Give me an hour and a half long documentary any time of the week over them, and I'm going to be down even more than I would be before.
Yeah.
And I think for them to put an hour and a half documentary on alongside 14 deleted scenes, that's something very good that says that not only we've got these scenes, but Lucasfilm we know they've got a lot of faith in Rian Johnson, but they're showing a lot more than they could with the Episode 7 stuff. So especially they couldn't even show much of Rogue One because of all the changes and whatnot.
It's just insane that we get this level. I mean, we obviously on the original trilogy videos, we got original trilogy videos. Look at me. Sorry, the prequel videos. We started getting the longer documentaries where we got the look at the all of Episode 1 and then the making.
We did a minute on Episode 3. Was my favorite documentary for a long, long time. I absolutely adore that one because it shows you every single department, every single job, every single little bit that goes into it, and it is an incredible documentary. So I'm very, very much looking forward to seeing. Yeah. That's why I haven't watched that 12 minutes though. I don't want to have that tease. I want to just sit down.
Oh, I kind of wish I hadn't. You're right, because I say all I wanted after it finished is I wanted the rest of it there and then, and I was devastated that I couldn't watch the rest of it.
It's one of those things when I get the Blu-ray, it's almost I'm more excited and anticipating watching the extras, the behind the scenes and things. And that we definitely, I'll be getting popcorn in primarily for the behind the scenes documentary more than the Last Jedi itself, because I know what to expect the Last Jedi, but the documentary is something I really look forward to seeing. So
I wonder if we'll get like a mirror scene of when George Lucas watched Episode 1 for the first time. That famous. Oh no!
Can I just give you a little? I know that's amazing, that scene. Can I give you a little what comes out of the documentary? The first 12 minutes. It's literally one scene.
I've seen a 30-second clip of Luke and Yoda, which I assume is in it.
I haven't seen that yet.
That's not. It's not even.
Okay. Spoilers.
It's literally just he's Rian Johnson sitting in a room and he's talking to somebody, and someone else comes in and goes, George Lucas would like to speak to you at 8:00, and Rian Johnson goes, okay then. It's just awesome. It's just literally a few second more, but it's great. That Yoda scene, it's everywhere, being gifted little. It's only about. It must be about 10-15 seconds. Is glorious. It looks like Mark Hamill really got taken back by the whole thing. It's glorious. I can't wait to own this. I want to see everything.
It's going to be amazing. It's a shame we don't get all at the same time. I think Rogue One we got 6 days after, I guess.
Yeah.
This one's 13. Like, come on.
It's a big gap between us and the States. I mean, yeah, they tend to get these things. Well, sometimes they don't actually. We tend to get the film first, and they get the Blu-ray first. But yeah, it's a bit of a wait, but it's going to be a really good time when we get it.
It helps me payday wise, but still, I'm with that. Yeah, no, I generally can't wait to pick that up, and yeah, got the steelbook coming. Can't wait for that. I pre-ordered it as soon as I walked out of the cinema. So
is that a Zavi midnight email? Like you can.
Yeah, of course.
They actually sent it to us because one of my friends gets steelbooks next to me. Obviously, Rian Johnson crashed on midnight, So at 0001, when it started, like Zabby popped up, like, pre-order your Last Jedi Steel out. Ryan Johnson's there in front of me, but I'm just there on my phone, like, go on. Like, put the brightness down, I'm not being assaulted. And I got it pre-ordered before I watched the film. Proud of that one. But yeah, that's I'd rather have the film first and the Blu-ray last than the other way around. We also get Avengers that
right.
But yeah, I think all Last Jedi aside, there is another Star Wars film coming out. Not next month, the month after next. Solo, a Star Wars story. We've changed all of our artwork to it, as I've said before. The film you're all really excited about seeing.
I'm literally more excited by how our logo looks now than I am for the film.
I'm not the only one that's thought that today. I sat there thinking, like, it's like, wow, we've made this effort for the Solo films, like, but ours looks better.
It looks superb, and literally I saw it now. I got so giddy when I saw that. Like, this, because that's the kind of thing I'd mentioned that when we have our private chat. Like, yeah, that's what it should be. That logo, and I think Phil mentioned just having the 4 letters for ones with the Force. And when you see it in real life, it's like, that looks so good. It looks right, and it looks perfect. And you're right, I'm more excited about this than seeing Solo.
I'm more excited about the Last Jedi documentary.
Yeah.
But I'm still looking forward to Han Solo to a degree.
Oh, no, I can't wait for Solo. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, the way that everything's gone so far, I think I'm actually more excited for the film because of Ron Howard's pictures than I am because of the trailer, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the film. I'm going with low expectations purely because of what happened, but at the same time, I'll go with low expectations and an open mind, and I'll just enjoy it for what it is. And we'll go from there. I mean, if we come out like we did from Jedi and it takes a couple of watchings, or if you come out and you love it, or you come out and you hate it, whatever it is, it'll provide conversation, it'll provide entertainment for us. I'm sure we'll have a disagreement somewhere, and that'll be entertainment for you guys for many weeks and months to come. But, very much looking forward to it. And speaking of Solo, though, and releasing new artwork, Disney themselves released a new artwork with the international poster, which actually I really quite like.
It looks nicer than it doesn't look nicer than the other posters they've done. It looks nicer than the book covers they've done recently. You've got Han and Chewie walk with the Falcons behind them, and it's in obviously it's Japanese poster, isn't it, or is it Chinese? I can't remember.
Korean, I think.
Sorry, no offense. I honestly thought it was because Star Wars is huge in Japan, so you just assume. I know that China hates it. They're getting Space Ranger, the film, not Buzz Lightyear, that franchise they hate Star Wars. Can't wait for them to find that out at the end. Disney going to put a cryptic message up like, haha, this was Star Wars all along.
Yeah.
And but the poster looks fine. It's not as nice as our artwork.
No, absolutely not. I mean, the posters that are coming out, obviously, and obviously there's some launch to do where you see it actually says Han Solo, obviously on some of the international posters rather than just Solo. But I really, nothing at the minute is lighting up for me with this film, and it's really hard. But I think the fact that maybe my expectations also, like Phil just said, that might really help the film. I know going into Rogue One, I didn't know what to expect, and I hadn't heard anything about it. To be honest, I'd avoided pretty much everything when it came to that film, and that film blew me away. So let's hope Han Solo even has a little bit of that, and maybe this will be like this film will come out and we'll discuss. Not what I was expecting. This is amazing. I mean, I don't think it will, but it'll be good to talk about once it's out. And trust me, there'll be a few episodes surrounding Solo when that gets released. But yeah, the posters are nice. They're great. They're not up to the standard of the saga posters. Obviously, they don't seem that way. But yeah, so new posters. Hooray! Our artwork is better.
And speaking of Han Solo, we have a kind of we've got a tidbit bit of news, haven't we? John Powell is scoring Han Solo, the actual film at Abbey Road Studios right now in London, and
we really should have put all the music news together.
Yeah, I was trying to put it film by film, and then I thought, well, John Williams is more important than everything else. But so Abbey Road at the minute, in one room, one hall, you've clearly got them composing Star Wars, which is like, okay, they're composing a Star Wars soundtrack. On the other hall, you've got Michael Giacchino scoring Jurassic World 2, which I would much rather take that man, chuck him in the Star Wars room, and say, do another one.
switch the door labels over one day.
Yes.
No, Mike, you're just in here. I haven't seen a dinosaur yet. It's all right. It's all right.
If he did Rogue One in 4 weeks, think of what he could do in 4 minutes.
That'd be incredible.
But yeah, no, the score's been. I mean, it's bog standard, but it's always nice when you get that confirmation. It means that also they've got their rough cut, like VFX done, so they can be scoring it in sync with that. But the thing is, I'm intrigued for this score, but John Powell's just not a composer. Gets me excited. Like I haven't heard enough of his work, but also he's got such a firm history on animated films. I haven't got that grand Star Wars, like when they had Alexander Desplat, when he was announced for Star Wars before Giacchino, I was like, well, he's won Oscars, he's done Harry Potter, he's done some real good scores. And this is a guy that could do Star Wars. He disappears for obviously the changes. Then Giacchino comes in. That's my number one. I want him to do it. You get your next one, fingers crossed, Hans Zimmer or Giacchino again. You get John Powell. It's just a bit like,
it is Powell, but also don't forget you got Williams doing the solo theme. So
Powell's music will great,
have elements also of that theme in it. So it'll have John Williams' brilliance trickle down into it.
Well, this is the downside. Giacchino didn't need John Williams to get 3 fantastic themes in his score, and he had 4 weeks to do it.
How much do you think the John Williams theme will stand out from everything else that's in the movie?
Absolutely everything. They're going to specifically pinpoint. This is the John Williams bit, right?
You'll be able to tell, even if it's literally in a bit of score where it's flowing, you will know the minute that becomes John Williams.
Oh, they literally put like a little pause on the screen, and go, "This is John Williams bit," and then back into the film. That's the weight it will have. I'm very interested to see how they blend together, though. Very interested to see how the two blend together, though, how their styles mesh, and how the score is one of those things, though, with the spin-off films. It's a risk-free blank canvas, if you know what I mean, in terms of it gives you can do what you want without it. If the music's not great, the music's not great. If the film isn't great, that's a different matter. I'm not saying the music doesn't matter, because of course it doesn't. As I said earlier, John Williams has created this musical landscape that will last for generations. I mean, he is the modern day Bach or Mozart or Wagner of our time, purely with what he's created, not just with Star Wars, but with other franchises as well. And to see what happens with Powell and how they do mesh together, that will be very interesting, and I can't wait to see how that does come about. And it'll be, I think that'll be one of the more pleasant surprises coming out of it, but we'll have to wait and see.
Indeed.
And yes, and then moving on, we still have some.
Yep.
Carry on.
No, it's going on. We have more solo news.
Sticking with Han Solo. So originally we reported that Michael K. Williams, who's from The Wire and a couple of other films, he had been cast as the original gangster in the Solo film, and he was, I guess, the biggest casualty of the reshoots, except obviously Phil Lord and Chris Miller. Because he was filming, he could not do both, so they had to reshoot his Star Wars scenes, and he was replaced by Paul Bettany. But the interesting, he's done an interview, and he clearly can't say much, but he gave a couple of little things away. His character was still the gangster Paul Bettany played. He even said this is this character. However, Michael K. Williams was going to be half human, half lion.
Put him up.
It's one of the bullets we have dodged with Miller and Lord being fired.
I just think, I really hope this is just the actor. Like, he got you just know there's some amazing, talented crew there, right? That have spent months working on this outstanding costume, and the guys just come out and said it's a lion, and it's clearly, and like, you've probably got the story group triggered for creating a whole species and backstory to him upstairs, and he just said, well, he's half a lion. But I really want to see some pictures now.
Absolutely.
I doubt they will ever. This is the one thing that's going to annoy the hell out of us, though, when Solo does come out, not only in cinemas, but then when we get it as a Blu-ray release, is that we know there's so much extras they could put in, and they just won't. It was the same with some of the reshoots that happened on Rogue One, except that compared to this, 90% of Rogue One actually remained, whereas this 90% was reshot. That's the difference.
Well, insiders say that they reshot the scenes that had been done that were fine with Phil Lord Miller. They just reshot anyway because I still think this will happen, even though they've cleared the names. There's the whole Directors Guild of America situation where it doesn't matter what happens. I think Phil Lord and Chris Miller are going to try and do something when this film comes out in May. There will be a quiet court case somewhere. I'm just convinced unless they got a nice payoff. But they reshot everything, which took filming from... It was originally going to be 10 weeks, wasn't it, of reshoots? Yeah. To all the way through to November. Did it wrap November time? And it went long, yeah. So it's a shame, but I think that there's going to be like a can at Lucasfilm. There's going to be one supercomputer with like encrypted more than like NASA that's just got like all of Phil Lord and Chris Miller's footage, and in there is a modern day HD half man half lion.
I just think it's for him to come out and put it like that. Obviously, we've seen picture of Paul Bettany when he went to Ron Howard earlier in the shoot. And at that point, he looked like he was actually just in, Han Solo's outfit. So whether he is going, that was just him arriving, or if this lion man child thing is turning up. So it's going to be, it's just really intriguing. I say, and maybe it's even an actor who really, really wanted to be in the movie, who then couldn't be in the movie, and he's asked, "What was your character like?" "Oh, it was half lion." Like,
to be fair, though, it's one of the things. It's one of the things that I reckon it's one of the bullets we have dodged though with the Miller and Lord situation with them being fired. If that is the case of being half human, half lion, but either way, it's. I would love to hack into that computer somehow and see this alternate cut. See how bad it really is.
It would be amazing to see the actual cut itself. Would be incredible. We'll never ever get to see what they did. And you're right, like in any way, shape, or form will that ever be given to us. Kathleen Kennedy would probably burn that quicker than George Lucas throughout the holiday special. So it really, if you get a chance to watch the holiday special, it's epic. But yeah, so it's an interesting take that he's just kind of put this out. Whether he's just ask it, I don't know if he's been asked to buy sort of paparazzi or something like that, or interesting. Let's just put it that way.
However, let's move on from slightly dodgy half-human, half-lions to all 100% awesome Jedi and Joker in Mark Hamill, who finally, very belatedly, received his Hollywood star on the Walk of Fame at the weekend.
I need to apologise for a technical error where apparently the first 25 minutes has been streaming my face, as well as your voices.
Oh, excellent.
So apologies in advance.
That's okay. You got Pretty Boy George and the voices of Dave and Phil.
And his
you are visible at the bottom, but it should all be back to normal now, so that's my bad. But for those listening on iTunes, you're not missing out on anything.
Yeah, for those of you who are listening after the fact, this means nothing to you. It's fine.
But no, so so where were we? Sorry. Yes, Hollywood Walk of Fame. Well deserved. Only thing that I found really amusing by it is the people who got to speak, and obviously that's George Lucas and Han Solo. Harrison Ford. Sorry. And the one thing with that, two less public speakers I would have thought you could find. Both just mumblers, really. Although Harrison did give an epic in a conversation where he said that they were missing the third person in that their trilogy of Carrie not being there. So that was a really nice touch. But overall, that because the ceremony was streamed live and it's still available on Facebook now. If you have a look around or on Twitter, you'll find it. And it's just for one, I couldn't believe that he did not have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. They give them to all kinds of people these days before actual people who deserve them. But I really enjoyed seeing him get it. He seemed over the moon. I think he's very much all Hollywood when it comes to how he looks at the business. And for him, getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, I think, meant a lot more than some modern people who like modern actors and things who would get that. I don't know if you agree with that or.
No, I completely agree. He couldn't have looked happier.
I've had a rumor, right, and I don't know this because I've never been to LA anyway. Apparently, they invite you to have a Star of Fame, right? But you have to pay $30,000 to get it, which I find extraordinary. That I mean, we know that Mark Hamill isn't. Well, he's not poor, is he?
No.
Do you know what I mean?
I wouldn't have thought so. Not in the last couple of years, especially.
And the way I see it is that this is purely my own head, right? He's probably been offered it in the past, but he's just such a humble person that I wouldn't be surprised if he's a guy that declined it for a bit of time or didn't want to do it as such. Because, I mean, not to stain on I almost swore then, not to stain on a presidency somewhere in the world that controls some states. They've got a star of fame, but you know that person would have straight away, oh yeah, if it's going to make me like one day in the news, then I'll take it. And there's a lot of people that do get the stars, but with Hamill, either they've been absolutely absurd and took that long to invite him, or he's probably declined it over this. And I don't know, I could be wrong, but he seems like the humble kind of guy that would have liked it done quietly. But I don't know, there's something weird, but I don't like the fact that let's pay 30 grand.
Yeah, there's a cynic in me that says, oh look, Last Jedi is about to come out on digital download, and Disney would have covered that and gone, right, let's get Mark out everywhere, all over the internet, getting his film Hollywood Walk of Fame. And look, by the way,
Oscars.
Last Jedi's coming out. Yeah, being on the Oscars, that's quite cool too. Best line of the night from Mark Hamill, don't say La La Land, it was great. But it was just, the cynic in me thinks that Disney might have timed this for the release of The Last Jedi, without doubt, to be honest. But I'm still really, really happy they got it. It did look over the moon to be getting it.
Yeah, and
it was great to see both Lucas and Ford come out for it as well.
Yeah, and also we had R2. Billy Lord was there.
Yes.
She did if anyone remembers Carrie Fisher's tweets, she did the most amazing. It was a language via emoticons that no one ever understood. You can get half it, but very rarely the whole thing. Billy Lord did a Carrie Instagram post to Mark and had pictures with him on the day. Kelly Marie Tran was there as well. Obviously, she was with him.
She was trying to sell figures.
Right. Right, so the bit of backstory to that is that Toys R Us is closing down, which we were all grieving with. And when I went to raid Toys R Us, there was about 20 figures left of the 3.75 Force Awakens, Shadow figures. And no joke, all 20 were Rose. And I took a picture and sent it to you guys because I really like Kelly Marie Tran. She seems lovely, she seems humble, and I'm excited to see what else she can do. But Rose isn't the best Star Wars character, and I could not imagine for the life of me a little kid writing down on their Christmas list, "Mummy, can I have Rose?" You know, I don't want to take the mic. Like I know I am, but
no.
It was seeing. I mean, they always used to say that the famous one was the Naboo pilot from Phantom Menace figures, Constable Zuvio in Episode 7. And
there is a big warmer out there for every line that comes out.
Lobot in Episode 5. So I mean, yeah, we got Rose this time. But yeah, there's a bit of backstory. It was very actually funny seeing that. But rest in peace, Toys R Us.
God bless you.
Yeah, and
we should insert theme tune here.
Yeah, we was getting down the pan a few years ago now. It's getting harder and harder for us to get our fix. Oh dear. Oh well. However, though, our last bit of news on The Last Jedi is the fact that it didn't win an Oscar, which we expected.
Yeah, we did get Mark Poe, not Poe. It doesn't say a lot when you refer to the actor.
The actor as a character.
I see Luke, right? This is very odd, but as a kid I saw Luke Skywalker, right? But as it's hit Episode 7, when I watch Episode 4, 5, and 6, I see Luke Skywalker. When I see Episode 7 and 8, I see Mark Hamill.
I get that. I absolutely get that.
Yep, 4, 5, 6, I saw Han Solo. Episode 7, and all of Indiana Jones and all of his other Ross, I see Harrison Ford. And that I'm seeing that with
Oscar Isaac.
Yeah. Oh, Ghost George.
George has vanished on us, so we'll continue on with where he was from. If you have still got just George's face, it has frozen on a lovely picture of him. But yeah, I know what George is saying, that when you see Oscar Isaac, you kind of do think, that. To be honest, I've only seen a couple of other films with him in, so Poe Dameron is always the name that I come back to when I see him. It's Poe. And that's just, I think it's one of those things when you become so inducted with these characters, that's just how you see them. They aren't those actors and real people out there. Sometimes I go into him and be like, to say hi, Oscar. That would you just would be like, hi, but yeah, Oscar. Hi, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's Poe Isaacs. Yeah. So... yeah, no, for sure. Unfortunately, it didn't win an Oscar, but it has its own Oscar. That's fine with us. We're just gonna move on, mate.
I was just gonna say, yeah, on the Oscar front, like I say, we weren't expecting the Oscar. Really, we knew with the categories that it was in, there were films that were much more likely to get the Oscars than Star Wars was. It was nice that it got the nod. I mean, for when it came out and when the Oscars were, but we knew heart to heart that it wasn't going to win anything. They kind of to give Star Wars one. Williams, yep, he'll have to have a nomination. But yeah, they were never going to win anything. But you know what? That's fine. There's episode 9, and maybe that'll be the one where they do a Return of the King and just give them an Oscar for Best Picture because it's the last one. Come on.
Yeah, well, they haven't had an Oscar since, what, 83?
They'll definitely win the Oscar for Best Soundtrack.
Without doubt for Williams' last Star Wars. Yeah.
It's going to be. I was going to say this earlier, and I felt quite bad about it, but I didn't say it. But I want John Williams to retire with Star Wars 9. That sounds absolutely horrible. And the reason I want to explain this is because to me, John Williams is Star Wars, and then John Williams is Spielberg's guy. Yeah. He's only scored one of 2 of Spielberg's last 4, I think. Yeah. And he's slowly picking his roles more wisely now. And he turned down Ready Player One and let Alan Silvestri, who's also a fantastic composer. But I could see John Williams retiring on that episode 9, because Indy's the year after Willie Tate Indy. It's got 5 months after Star Wars is due out. Is he going to be able to do both? Because he didn't do Ready Player One because he was doing episode 8. So it's...
I could see him saying, now he said that he'll sign off Star Wars 9. I think after it's come out, that he could be literally come out and go, that was my last movie. And if it is, it will absolutely win Best Soundtrack, no matter what that soundtrack is like. Williams will get that Oscar for his final movie without any doubt at all.
I mean, he had episode 7 in the bag, but Ennio Morricone won because Ennio Morricone hadn't won the Oscar, and he knew John Williams was going to come back and score episode 8 and 9.
Yeah, without doubt.
So it's similar to that, but that was my very random Oscar thought.
Yeah, cool.
Yes, and now we might as well move on from the news to our next section, Rebels Recap. There is no more Rebels Recap, unfortunately, anymore. Rebels has finished. However, you can treat yourself by going back just a week ago and watching our very special episode on the Rebels finale. We reviewed technically the last 3 episodes, but of course it put out as a 90-minute finale. You can go back and find it on the channel. We've got links to it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everything. You'll find it. Go and enjoy it, and go watch our last look at Rebels.
Yeah, it's kind of, I know we're kind of brushing past it because obviously that is it, but it is going to be weird that now that is no more. I'm sure this will soon be filled with tales of a new animated series, and we will get that in there. But yeah, it's going to be weird that that's it. No more Rebels talk at all. It's very strange to be finished with it.
Indeed, it doesn't seem like that long ago that you and I were sat in the auditoriums in the Excel Center watching the first few episodes of Series 3, and now it's gone.
Hey, and even better, you met me that night.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. I remember, I think I was walking around. I didn't go to the Rebels panel. I could have, but I just didn't. I just couldn't be bothered to get arrested by my sister. Didn't watch it, so I didn't want to drag her. Because they showed the first episode, didn't they? The following season.
First two, yeah.
But I just remember, as everyone did, Thrawn. The reveal of Thrawn. We all knew that was coming, but it was that one of them celebration moments where everyone just, wherever they were, they just looked up at the constant streaming and just saw Thrawn. And that was a great moment.
It went
mental. In the room, they went absolutely
they were screaming, weren't they?
Mental.
To be fair, I probably would have. I never read Age of the Empire, but it's just one of the things that everyone shouted about, and everyone knows Thrawn anyway. And yeah. So,
goodbye, Rebels. It's been fun.
There's been our up and downs, and if you want to hear our full thoughts, go to the video again because I'm going to be ranting again.
Indeed, and also you can go back, you can check out all of our Rebels recaps from our previous episodes. You can go and watch our specials and watch our AP5 rants again and again and again. The only thing we like to rant about more than AP5 is Felicity Jones and how much she charges for a little bit of a scribble. But for now, we should move on from that scribble to a different kind of scribble. And again, plugging our little giveaway here is the Last Jedi novelization. Dave, I'll let you kind of go into that one.
Yeah, so I mean, literally, it has just come out. So we have The Last Jedi by Jason Fry. If you are watching this at all, I have a copy of said book. Picked up 2 tonight, so one of these is going to one of you lucky guys or girls who wants to enter the competition. So giveaway is very simple. All I need to do is comment on our YouTube, our Facebook, our Instagram, and just if you can put that favorite moment from Last Jedi and then put what it is. Just put favorite moments so I know that you are looking to enter the contest. Doesn't matter where in the world you are.
Put a hashtag.
Put a hashtag, yeah.
Hashtag Lasties.
Just favorite moment. But yeah, so wherever you are in the world, I don't mind. I will post this book to you no matter where you are. US, Australia, I'll get it to you. If it's far outside of the UK, it might take a little while, but I'll get it to you. So yeah, we have a copy of the book to give away by Jason Fry. I haven't even read it yet. I picked up tonight, so I don't even know how good it is. But apparently it's a really good book. Brien Johnson had some input on it, which is awesome. Some of the scenes he went over with Jason Fry to actually talk how they were going to put it into the book. I know some of the deleted scenes are in there as well. So yeah, it will be a great read. And you know what? You don't have to pay for it. You just leave a comment to us and you might get it. That's awesome. Free stuff.
Yeah, so don't forget, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, put the hashtag favorite moment, put on your favorite moment underneath. And one of you lucky guys or girls will win it. And hopefully it's someone far, far away, so Dave will have to pay a horrific amount of postage, which we will love. It could be just down the road, but we're hoping. Come on, Australia. Come on, one of you Aussies, come out there. Leave a little comment. We'll get it shipped out to you by snail mail. It might take a couple of months and with a couple of prisoners on board. But still, you can have that for free. Yeah, so we're going to move on from that to Toy Shelf and 3.75-inch figures. And Dave, since you are a regular 3.75-inch man, you can take the charge on this one.
Yeah, I only saw the pictures earlier today, to be honest. And, I mean, the main thing that we've kind of taken from it, we've seen a lot of these that were coming. But to see the artwork now revealed, which is very much the same as the Last Jedi artwork was for the figures, but the font's been changed to yellow. Again, they look great. The design of the artwork I really like anyway, but that's all my collection lies at the moment, so it's not something I'll be rushing out to get. But the detail in some of these figures are getting better for the 3 3/4 inch. And I don't know if they're going to start using, and I don't know if they can use the digital paint technology on that yet, or if that's something that we'll be bringing in.
That will probably stay on the vintage line.
On the vintage, sorry, yeah. So, so yeah, there are new figures coming out. I don't even have a list in front of me of which ones they were. I don't know if you guys have got those to hand. I don't have the Facebook.
If I could try and remember them on my head, there's the Mimban Trooper, Lando. No, there's the Mimban Trooper. There's Han Solo. There's Kira with the apostrophe, cute, stupid name. And then, for some amazing reason, they have the exact same 3.75 Luke Skywalker from last year in yellow.
They also got the Rage Trooper as well.
Rage Trooper, that's the one.
They have the reason, and K2SO as well is in the line. I just had a look at the picture I put up earlier. The reason that K2SO, Luke, Maz are back in this is because of the sound chip.
Yes, it's all to do with
That's probably the only reason they've put more voice
thing,
in it that they missed out. So it's part of that Force wristband thing that the kids
Are
must
we
like.
going to get sound effects of Luke sucking milk out of udders?
No, we'll just get the
let's hope
we'll
not.
just get the sound effects from The Force Awakens. Yeah, we'll get all of his lines from The Force Awakens. That's all.
Yes, literally. That'd be amazing. You hold it up and just silence.
No, the figure just stares at you intently. That's all it is.
But you can wait 2 years to get your new figure.
Yeah. Yeah, literally. But yes, I know that's why they're releasing again. Some of the repacks that they're doing are just to go with that Force sensitive voice thing.
Indeed. However, though, again, continuing with the 3.75-inch theme, and as I said, Dave, you are a 3.75-inch man. The vintage collection is now for pre-order. Now, I know George has pre-ordered the lot because it's George and he just does that. I don't have the funds to do that. However, these are some phenomenal-looking packages. I mean, we all know the Kenner line. We all know the vintage packaging. We all know and love it. However, it really does look good. I mean, some of the 3.75-inch figures they've done for this line, you've got Rey, you've got Dr. Aphra, you've got Snoke. Again, gold pajamas and all. His packaging looks amazing. It's one of those things that I was actually blown away by how good they looked.
Yeah. When these were announced, what was it? Was it Celebration
last year? Wasn't it? Rey was the first one announced for it. Yeah.
I looked at them hit and miss. When I saw the Toy Fair a couple of weeks ago, that's when I was really sold. The thing that sold me most isn't the gigantic Jabba Sail badge. It's the Assault tank trooper from Rogue One, which you cannot pre-order yet. However, every convention you go to, there is always classic Kenner big figures being sold, like the Millennium Falcon, the AT-ATs. The assault tank looks absolutely outstanding. It's one of my favorite designs of the Disney era so far. It was only in one scene, but it looks amazing. I cannot wait to get that. And just looking at the vintage stuff, knowing that they're Wave 2, they unveiled a couple of figures at Toy Fair, not the artwork, but we know we're going to be getting Luke.
Afra's in Wave 2, I believe.
Afra's going to be in Wave 2. Luke
Hoth
is going to
Trooper
be in
as
Wave
well.
2.
There's a Hoth Trooper.
That's one of my favorite ones. The Hoth Trooper, just because of the packaging, because of the artwork, just looks incredible.
And the Hoth Trooper has been the first to sell out.
Wow.
So on pre-orders on Star Action Figures, which is the site to use if you're in England, I guess. Wave 1 is Rey, Kylo, First Order Stormtrooper, Snoke, Jyn Erso, and the 6th is the Hoth Trooper. The only one completely sold out pre-orders is the Hoth Trooper so far, because it's the original Episode 5. It does look very weird being with the modern wave, but
however, it does look stunning. I don't blame people.
They look great
for buying that. And George, you'll have to send me a link in our chat, and we'll probably put a link up for other people, or at least put a little note up for where people can pre-order them. But yeah,
and also
very excited to see that.
Wave, they reckon there could be 2 more waves this year. And apparently there's, quote, a lot planned for 2019. So I've got a feeling that Black Series, they do 3.75 Black Series figures, right? But they just look the same as
no, they stopped those now. Those
stopped. See,
those stopped the end of 2016 or 17.
So when Episode 7 was, I've got a feeling that they're going to entirely shift their momentum now onto the vintage wave. That you'll get the new films, but over the next year and a half, when Solo's out to Episode 9, it's all going to be vintage stuff.
It will be the Black Series will be their premier line, which will be the 6-inch line. They'll have the middle tier, which will be the vintage line, and then they'll have the kids line, as it were, which will be your standard 3.75-inch figures. The
retail of these are £15 each. For a normal 3.75, it's about £10 on average at a shop.
And the Black Series can be up to 28.
About 22, 25, isn't it? Depends how they're doing Brexit. Thank you. But this is very exciting. I was too young to get the old ones. They were before Black Series, weren't they? They were the collector's one from before Black Series, but I'm very excited.
Dave and I remember those fondly. Dave a little bit more clearer than me, but I do remember them clearly myself.
But one of my favourite things, I would have brought with me if I was going to realize I was going to read up. When Episode 7 came out, Empire did a collector's magazine, and on the front cover was Kylo Ren in Kenner artwork on the magazine cover. And they actually came with the Hasbro 3.75 Kylo Ren. It's in my cabinet over there. That's worth a bomb. But it looks amazing because of that. And it's going to look amazing getting especially the more modern ones with the vintage stuff. And I've got a feeling they'll probably start doing Rebels eventually too, within that line.
And don't forget that Dr. Afro, which is a Wave 2, was the Hasbro fan vote from last year.
The rigged fan votes, which
rigged fan vote, which we did cover that in quite great detail. Again, it's strange. We're almost up to 30. This is episode 29. We've been going for quite a while, and it snuck up on us. So it's quite a while back in our back catalogue. You can find our rants on that. We do our rants quite well on here. However, though, sticking with the 3.75-inch line, however, something that probably won't come out purely because no one wants it and not enough to pay $500 plus tax, is the Jabba's sail barge, and it's not doing well.
It's just hit halfway. There was a message on.
They've already moved the date once for it.
The issue is they had about 1,200 in about 3 days, but then in the following 2 weeks they've had another 1,000. So they're halfway through with a month left, if that. They're not going to get it. No,
it's April 22nd, the finish date, and they've already moved. I think it was April 9th. I think it was the first time around.
I mean, I missed our episode last time, but when I catched up with you guys, you said the exact same thing. Who would want this of everything? And the thing is now, not only are they doing the old figures, they're doing the assault tank, right? That's Rogue One. There are so many amazing vehicles last 2 years that if you wanted to go all out with something huge which hasn't been seen before, you could get away with probably putting anything new and it would get bought. But Jabba's sail barge, something that's been done in Lego dozens of times. I don't know if it's been sets before, but there's nothing really special. Like, Who really?
No, they would do better by doing like the ATTE from Rebels.
Imagine
the
Pose
global
X-Wing.
version, but yeah.
Pause it, yeah.
Pose X-Wing in a 1/8 scale, or if you get sort of the ATTE from Rebels, like the modified version that Wolf, Gregor, and Rex have, or something like an AT-AT, an AT-ST, AT-DP, something on the giant walker.
Give us the Ghost.
Yeah, the Ghost. Yeah, there's so much
Big
scope.
deal Ghost would have been amazing.
And they'd get their backers at the click of fingers for that.
They would. Rebels coming in, people would absolutely have bitten their hands off for it. But this is Hasbro's new way of kind of thinking what we can do is we'll put this out and look what we're making for you guys. This is what we're making for you fans. Oh, you didn't get all the money in, so unfortunately we can't make it.
I mean, they would have done better if they'd done the Emperor's Throne Room from Episode 6.
There's so much they could have done
like that, but they chose something that was obscure. I mean, I don't know. It's cool, but it's one of those things we go, okay, like it, but I'm not going to pay $500 plus tax. I mean, they've expanded it now to Canada, but that's purely because they're just not getting the sales in. They won't make it unless they release it globally, and no one wants to pay that much for it. And I can see why, but as cool as it is, it's also very strange for a company that big to be doing a Kickstarter-style project.
I mean,
that shows how little faith they have in it, let alone anyone else.
The licenses include Star Wars and Marvel. What else do you need in the 21st century as a license to print money with?
Yeah.
It's silly, and I think they clearly, I bet they had like probably like hierarchy board members like, I love Jabba Selvage, make it. And they're all probably there, like, no one wants to buy it, who better make it, you better make it. You can picture the manager being like, I really want this, I'm really passionate about this. It's like it's the pity.
I want a Jabba sail barge.
Is that like my 45-year-old kid wants one? This is the only
I'm
one.
not there yet.
No, but you've got taste. I think it's silly, but I think they knew no one wanted it, and this will be their excuse not to do big ships in the coming future. But just give me Pose X-Wingers. Now I've said it, Pose X-Wing in the vintage style.
Even the Gungan ship would sell more than that. Okay, maybe not quite. Actually, the Naboo Starfighter would have shifted. The Naboo Starfighter would have shifted. That would have done. So there's so much scope they could have done.
Just a bad choice, really. I think that's what it's got to come down to. It's just a bad choice of ship to pick.
I'm happy it's been a Kickstarter and it's going to fail rather than it be
bring it out and fail.
Yeah.
However, though, it's very strange for a company to do it as a Kickstarter, something that big when you, as I said, a license to print money. It just shows that I don't think they have faith in it, and the sales figures back that up. They've already moved the sale date once, and I reckon they'll move it again and pump it up to a global release or maybe a European/UK release, maybe. But I doubt it'll reach its goal. And if they do, they'll make a big hoo-ha of it and release another one. But I don't think they should. But hey ho, we're not in charge of Hasbro. We're only seeing every other company go bankrupt, so we'll see. However, though, keeping on the theme of Jabba and his ginormous arse, we shall talk about Jabba's throne room. The fact that his throne and Salacious B. Crumb are now up for pre-order on Sideshow, only $800, which is a bargain.
I would pay $800 for a real life Salacious B. Crumb.
I mean, I've seen it. It's an impressive. I mean, as most these things are, it's an impressive cast of the design of the model. He has removable. His bottom jaw removes, and there's different versions. It's got his tongue out version and things like that. So it is cool. $800. I don't want a Jabba the Hutt that much. There are far better things that are coming out.
Do you want to buy Jabba Selvage instead?
Yes, actually, you know what? I'll buy a Jabba Selvage. And
you'll still have $300 left over for a episode 6 Sideshow Luke.
So no, it's just again, this is one of those things that I don't know why Jabba's like all the rage suddenly. Like, we'll bring Jabba stuff out, and it's like
the hot cartels are taking over, and it's just not been reported in the news.
I don't get it. It's not for me. I'm sure there are collectors out there who are at the bit to get it, chopping at the bit, but yeah, not.
However, we'll jump from something I don't want to pay $500 for, but something I wish I had $500 for, and that's Anovos. They have released the Sabine Series 2 and Series 4 helmets for $500 each, and oh my god, they are stunning.
Go George, go.
Ooh.
I really don't like them. I like Sabine's armor in Rebels as a cartoon, but I don't like the real life version of it. I think also, I'm clear on my own with this opinion.
You
If
are.
I could buy anything Anavoth, Kylo Ren's helmet, like that, and that, I mean, Sabine's quite far down a list of things I'd rather own. This makes me sound like a horrible person, but sometimes the spray paint's best left in a can.
I love the look of this helmet as well. I mean, definitely you are right. If I was to give me like $500 to go on the Novos website and spend, there are things I would get first. They have some amazing pieces on there. I mean, you just look over the website. When they launched this, I went through the site, just having a look through all the stuff. A lot of it that's sold out, you cannot get a hold of. But stuff like the Shore Troopers and the Stormtrooper, the Kylo Ren, and like not just his helmet, you can get his outfit, like Darth Vader, you get the shoulders, and they just put so much work into it. It looks.
Oh yeah, there are
incredible.
other things you'd rather buy, but I do love it. I mean, although to be fair, $500 for Jabba's sailboard, $500 for Sabine's helmet.
I'd take Sabine's helmet.
Helmet every single day of the week.
I have to complete my vintage collection.
Fair play, that is a good statement. However, though, we might as well move on to something again. George, I'll let you handle this, which is the pops.
Yeah, so they really randomly announced the Last Jedi Wave 2 of pops, and okay, this is the first set of pops post Last Jedi, right? And when they did this for Episode 7, you had Luke, you had Kylo and Master with a lightsaber, you had Rey with a lightsaber, you had these amazing ones. For The Last Jedi, your first basically spoiler wave of merchandise, probably the last wave too, because there's a solo film out, right? You get Paige, that other pilot that was in the 7th one, the species that died, right? The other one. You get Sad Porg, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle from the beach. You get the Crystal Critter, right? And if you're thinking, wow, what a tremendous wave, okay, you do get Luke with his blue lightsaber, but it's not green. And then they're doing them movie moments again, where there's one box which is Rey in a guard, and the other box is Kylo in a guard. So really, you're lying to yourself until you bought both of them together. I mean, I think I said last time I'm going to be selling my pops. I've got the list together. I'm all ready to roll for Comic Cons, trying to speak to people. This is a really awful wave. Like, except Luke, who on earth is going to want any of these other figures?
Yeah, that's exactly my thought. When I saw the Luke figure, I think he looks awesome as a pop. I don't have a lot of pops. I've probably got about 25 pops in total. A lot of the Rebels crew and things like that. But that Luke is one I will pick up just because I think it looks great. But the rest, you're right, the rest of the line I have absolutely zero interest in. And this goes back to
I want the Luke, but I do want the Rey and Kylo guard moments.
Oh yeah, the moments packs are fair enough. They're going to look amazing anyway. But this goes back to what we said last time about Funko, right? They're struggling with money because they're making the ones people want exclusives and the ones no one as commons. Can you wait until you have been a planet and see about 20 Crystal Critters or Nun Turtles, right? If these were exclusives, people would buy them because they're the collectors. And if they had the commons that people want, Funko would probably be far more operational. But it's really starting to turn on themselves now. Like for Infinity War, I know this is the wrong podcast, but they've announced 18 of their Wave 1. There's 11 commons, right? It's 7 exclusives. One exclusive you can only buy on the continent of Asia, which is the most stupid thing. And it's a really cool one of Iron Man. It's a really cool Thor one for the new film. And I'm there like, okay, the normal wave's great, don't get me wrong. But it's just bonkers. The best ones are always exclusives, and it's the things they don't even profit from this when they get sold on eBay. Funko aren't making money.
There's no way that the Funko started out as obviously something just niche, and they had this little market, and then it went crazy where everybody and their uncles got. I think there are Funko Pops of us out there somewhere. Honestly, everybody seems to have them, and they seem to lose their appeal very quickly once people kind of got them. And like you say, it wasn't exclusive, but you can't get the exclusives unless you pay out the nose for them. And then, are they worth what you want to then pay for them? I think the market's falling away quite rapidly for them.
And it's their own fault in a way.
They brought it upon themselves, absolutely.
Yeah. However, we'll go for something we don't really want, to something that we're quite looking forward to, with the leaked image of the Jedi Temple from Battlefront 2. George, I know you're the one who picked this up. I saw it a little while ago, but not by very...
I saw it on Instagram very randomly last night. Battlefront 2 there's an argument in itself in there. They still haven't announced the DLC. It's March. It's been 4 months later. They said they were going to have something in March. We're halfway through. Still nothing. A leaked image of concept art has come up with the Jedi Temple, and they say concept art, but it looks like the main menu loading screen, and it's of the Jedi Temple on the inside, like the classic blue library, if you know what I mean. Mm. And there's been not outrage or anything, nothing like that, but there's suddenly excitement again. People actually speaking of the game, because there's still been no DLC, and if they're going to do the Jedi Temple, that would look amazing. The image looked fantastic, but then it means that the original Battlefront 2 had the best mission ever, where you just got to murder all the Jedi in the temple, and you had to destroy the archives. It's really cool to see the archives of the modern graphics.
That was a great mission.
Yeah, and it just leaves the question again of why haven't they announced anything yet? But it's just one leaked image. I wouldn't
battle with. Sorry,
I would say I think that they'll have to announce this now in the next couple of weeks if it is true. Because they've got to announce something in March.
They've got to announce something before it comes out that like Lucasfilm are taking off Disney are taking the rights away from them and moving to other studios. So I think that might be what's holding things up. I don't think that Disney probably would if there are going to be a breakup of that partnership, Disney might not even want them to release anything else to stop them making funds. But who knows?
I think they'll keep the license. I think Lucasfilm will be smart and just. Because the clause is that currently only EA can publish Star Wars games.
Just open it up.
I think what they'll do now is just say, listen, you've messed up. You've made 2 games in 6 years, 5 years now. 5 years. They've made 2 games in 5 years. They've cancelled 2 others. They've sacked an entire studio. They've had horrific PR for both game releases. So I think Lucasfilm's going to open up and say, you know what, you've had your time. Because the story group, they used to do all this stuff with that company that EA shut down as well. They would have been furious. I bet they spent ages working out stuff. Yeah, and just chucking in and EA, it doesn't go online until we're stopping the entire game. There's no turning back now. They need to get Battlefront. Just get everything up. Battle 2 is a great game. It's been marred over microtransactions, and rightfully so. But they've got no one to blame but themselves. And to be fair, I'll pin as much blame on Lucasfilm because the entire world knew what EA were like before they made that deal with them.
Yeah.
They should never, ever, ever, ever have disbanded LucasArts.
No.
Oh, absolutely not.
I say that's a slap in the face to George Lucas and the games industry as a whole, in all honesty.
But you never know, they might bring it back. And they should bring everything in-house. Get the story group working on it and get everything done properly. But that is a big rant and a big rant for another time. For now, we're going to close up with our canteen talk this evening. Now, this was going to be quite interesting. It's because with the announcement of John Williams most likely retiring with 9, but 9 being his last Star Wars film, who do you want to see take over? And I'll start. I've actually got quite an interesting one in mind. I was actually quite like to see Aaron Marconi take over.
Oh, he's older than John Williams.
He's older than John Williams, but I would love to see what he would do with the franchise. I'd love to see what he would do with the film.
You've left me speechless, sir.
He would play it loud. In musical style, then yeah, I absolutely agree that if he could go back in time a little bit to a younger version, I think you're absolutely right. That could be an incredible take on a Star Wars score. I think age is against him. I think that's the only thing. But yeah, I absolutely see where you come from. His actual score would have been incredible. To put on the gramophone.
Just imagine it though. Just imagine what a Star Wars film would look like with the Marconi score on it. It would just be phenomenal.
I can't even get over him beating John Williams still in 2016 at the Oscars.
It was well deserved though. It was his first Oscar. That was a career win.
Yeah, it was a career Oscar. Yeah, Give him that. However,
though, the Django Unchained soundtrack is pretty damn good.
It is an awesome film. But yeah, I guess mine's a really, really safe pick as well. But Giacchino would be my pick every day of the week at the minute. I was so impressed with the work that he put in 4 weeks to create that Rogue One soundtrack. It's phenomenal. It stands up so well. Just listening to some Star Wars soundtracks you listen to and other soundtracks you listen to, and you don't quite get the film and you don't get the pacing or the emotion with it. He absolutely nailed everything from start to finish, and in the time he had, I still can't quite believe he did that in such like a month, and he kicked that through. There's my soundtrack. It's all done. Awesome. But it'd certainly be my pick to bring back in as the main go-to.
I've got kind of two. I don't know if this is cheating.
No.
I want my three favorite composers of all time. Right, third, Michael Giacchino. Took me years and got his name wrong. And he's done one. Now I want to see Giacchino take over. When I say take over John Williams, I mean we're getting series, we're getting spin-off films, side films, whatnot. If there's going to be a main guy who is there, like this is our new John Williams. I don't know. I don't mean that sound distasteful.
No, I know what you're trying to say.
In 15 years, when we get 10, 11, 12, they will do that. Of course, they're going to do it. We're going to get 10, 11, 12. Then we're going to get the series. I reckon the series will be set in the modern era as well. Give them Giacchino. However, there is one composer who I am desperate to see score Star Wars. My favorite composer of all time is none other than Hans Zimmer. I've seen the man live 4 times. He is not only one of the greatest composers of all time. He is a fantastic human being who has nothing but fantastic work. He gets on with all the directors. He can hold a crowd. He's just an amazing person. And the way that he does his films, if anyone's seen Dunkirk from last year, his soundtrack it's not mechanical noise. That sounds horrible, but it's designed to mix in with the Spitfires. Yeah, it's and you would never know. You can't tell his films apart because he can radicalize himself so much. He can do everything you'd need. He can do the grand Star Wars score. He can do the light string stuff. I want to see Zimmer potentially do a trilogy or at least a spin-off film to really showcase himself. But it's the safe choice is Giacchino. But I need Hans Zimmer to work on a Star Wars film. I was a bit good. He didn't do Solo because he has worked with Ron Howard several times.
Yeah.
So I was really good when they did Now John Powell. But my word, that would be an absolute dream.
Yeah, no, it would be awesome to see Zimmer take over and do that.
I think all good choices. I mean, it's going to be so hard for anybody who comes in as then given, the next trilogy, right, you're in charge of this, you're following John Williams. Obviously, people are going to expect, no matter what film you do, that his themes play through. I think Giacchino did really well where he played very much on the side of the John Williams themes. There was never a full theme used. You got sort of hints at them. And I thought it was a really good way of doing it to then just hinting at what's...
I think the first taste we'll get of where things are to go will be with Johnson's trilogy. Because at that point you have someone coming to do a series of films, and from there on you can kind of see what direction they're going to take, if it's going to be per director or if it's going to be overall. I think that will be your interesting take. I think hopefully Giacchino, we all agree there, he nailed it with Rogue One. George, yeah.
I was like, the live action series as well. I mean, I don't watch The Crown yet, I will be, but Hans Zimmer did the theme and they've had a composer use the theme to do a score. But then you've got Giacchino who I believe composed the entirety of Lost for however long that ran for. So I think the live action series will be, I think there'll be not someone young necessarily, but I think there'll be someone big to compose this live action stuff for Jon Favreau when the time comes.
Yeah. It's just exciting times ahead. It's just there's so much sort of mystery surrounding everything that's going to come. Once we're past Solo and we're heading towards Episode 9, after that, we're in very much unknown territory of what's then going to happen in Star Wars, which is a weird but wonderful place to be.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting experience, I think, but I think it's going to be very heavy with news. We still don't even know where Celebration is going to be next year.
I must admit, though, the one that you mentioned Favreau there, we didn't talk about that in our previous episode. It's come out since then. So how have we missed talking about that as one of the biggest pieces of news that we completely glossed? I think it's because it came out last Thursday. We did an episode on Wednesday for Rebels, but we've kind of completely missed over it in our overview this time. So we might as well talk about that as our final piece. We'll leave you with something that actually excites all three of us. That when we saw it, we all went, yes. That Jon Favreau has been announced to write and direct the new Star Wars live-action series that will be debuting on the Disney app next year, along with what we can probably guarantee will be the new animated series as well. And I genuinely cannot wait to see that happen. So, George.
They didn't say it's going to debut next year, but it will debut on the app. He's currently... I'm assuming he's probably past filming and now on VFX for Lion King, which is next July. So I'm assuming that he's probably got his ideas. He's got a voice on Han Solo, hasn't he? He's voicing one of the aliens, and they reckon it's not minor, but not that important. But he's clearly in with Lucasfilm, and he's been in with Disney for years. And I'm very excited. I think he's a very, very underrated director who can do great things. He technically created the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yes, he did.
So I think Star Wars is very safe under his hands, and I'm really excited to see what he does next.
I can't wait. As you say, the Marvel Universe was down to him. Just watch the first Iron Man movie. I know, again, off the bit of Star Wars, but watch that first Iron Man movie for how almost perfect an introduction to a Marvel movie. Iron Man, a character that little to nobody cared about when it was announced as an Iron Man film, to one of the most beloved characters in the Marvel Universe. That's now Jon Favreau. That film doesn't work. The MCU doesn't. It goes the way of the DC universe. So I can't wait to start seeing what he's going to put out, especially a live action show, which has been talked about for so long now. Even when Lucas was around, there were talk of that was going to be like in Coruscant and in the 13 game was going to tie into it.
Yeah, it's finally going to happen. We're very excited to see that. And I think that'll be it for this evening, guys. If anything else to add at all?
No, I think we've talked for long enough.
George?
Check out all of our fancy art, but better than Han Solo film.
Yes, do. It's awesome.
It is Birmingham MCM Comic Con this weekend. I don't know why I've even said that. There's no Star Wars people there. But Wales Comic Con, they did announce that not only is Ezra from Rebels going to be there, that guy from Lost, who's also in Episode 7.
Grunberg.
Also known as...
Snap Wexley.
Snap Wexley. He's just been out to Wales Comic Con. Wow, I've forgotten. Oh, yeah, and even better than them, I forgot to brag. I bought Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. So that's me done. What a way to end.
However, George and I, will be in attendance at the Wales Comic Con. So if you're there, come and say hello. I don't know why you'd want to say hello to us, but still, come and say hello. We will be there in force. Dave, you should come and join us. We'll try and persuade you. But until then, yes, I think that's it. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to comment on the video. Check out our social media pages. Don't forget to enter the giveaway, because if no one enters it, then I'll take the book. So yes, until then, we were once the Force. May the Force be with you. Good night.